Today, we're going to be checking out a new run of buzzz, the new factory dyed buzzz. I love Discraft's factory dyes. They have a bunch over at Disc Golf Deals USA and a bunch of other cool discs you can go check out for yourself. Click the link in the description below to save 10%. All orders are $50 shipped for free. We're going to be comparing the new factory dye buzzz to the titanium buzzz, and then I got a crystal buzzz off the used bin. So I got a cool like Hub City crystal buzzz. So we'll give these buzzes a throw. The buzzz is a 5.4 -1.1. So I'm expecting to get a relatively stable flight, but I'm also expecting to be able to just put it up in the air and get a little bit of turn out of it. So we'll go crystal, then we'll go titanium, and then we'll go factory dye. Holding that turn really nicely. Stable enough to not turn and burn, but straight enough to hold that angle the whole way to the ground. Wow, carving up this fairway nicely. Titanium basically flying the exact same. And then we've got the cool factory dye buzzz here. Look at that flight, wow. But I need to know, let me know in the comments section down below. Do you bag a buzzz? Yes or no? And have you ever thrown a buzzz? Yes or no? The reason why I want to know is because everyone at this point is pretty much throwing hexes, detours, and I don't see a lot of like the more old school discs out on the course nearly as often as I used to. Used to see a ton of KC Pro Rocks, buzzz SS, lots of variation. Nowadays, it just seems like every single person is bagging a hex, a detour, or some flippy MVP Axiom streamlined mid-ranges. So I'm super curious, are there any buzz throwers still out there? Or is it starting to be a lost and forgotten mold? Distance-wise, we got the crystal buzzz, the titanium buzzz, and then the dyed buzzz. I think the dyed buzzz is the most stable, but we'll have to do some further testing to truly confirm that. And when a generational talent like Paul McBeth switches from Innova to Discraft, you could feel that shift in the market. There was a buzz in every single player's bag that I bumped into for like the first year or two that McBeth was on Discraft. We felt that shift in the market when Simon went from Discmania to MVP. I just don't see buzzes like I used to, but it's not a bad disc. It's still one of the GOAT mid-ranges on the market, but I just don't really see them out in the wild too much anymore. Crystal, titanium, factory dye. Coming back into the headwind, that thing just turned and burned straight into the ground. Not making a great case for the buzz on that one. Let's give it a little more air time. There it is. Titanium buzzz getting a nice -1 turn in the mid-flight, and then a nice 1 fade right at the end of the flight. That was that exact buzz flight you're looking for. Now we got the factory dye guy. That one's definitely the most stable of the bunch. Wow, very true to the flight numbers. A factory dyed buzzz is just a hair more stable than titanium. It's a really nice flyer. I personally am not a huge fan of ESP plastic, at least new variations of the ESP plastic from Discraft. I'm a much bigger fan of their Z plastic, Big Z plastic Jawbreaker. I personally just don't like the feel of the ESP. I feel like it's just a little bit too slippery or slick for me. Now, don't get me wrong, an old, beat up ESP Discraft disc reminds me of old, beat up Innova Star plastic, which is the best feeling plastic in the entire game, in my opinion. This new factory dye buzzz has nice grip to it. Even though it's super cold out here, I'm having no problems getting a good hand feel on the disc. So I'm super impressed with the hand feel and the flight of the mold thus far. And it's really interesting. You would think that the crystal buzzz would be the most stable. Again, it doesn't look like this guy's too beat up. It's definitely old, but it hasn't been thrown a ton by the previous owner or owners. But shockingly enough, the crystal one is the most flippy. The titanium is right in the middle. They're all board flat. They all have the same exact profile. Yeah, that crystal buzzz is kind of flying like a -1.0 or even maybe like a -2.0. It's just flipping up, holding the line, and then not really fading much at the end. Both of these runs, this titanium and the factory die are both new runs. Seems like the new runs are a bit more stable than the older runs. Wow, okay, that had like a weird forward push to it. It felt a little nose up, but it just kind of kept pushing and pushing and pushing. It didn't really fade. It just sort of like crashed. Very interesting flight. Then we got the factory guy, the most stable of the bunch. Yeah, definitely getting just a hair more fade at the end than the other two, and a little bit less turn in the mid-flight. It just blows my mind how a disc like the Buzzz can become so popular. And then it started to become like a collector disc. Every player on the whole Discraft team seemed to have a signature zone and a signature Buzzz. And it was like everybody was buying them all up, but then they all stayed on the shelf and people weren't really throwing them. And then all of a sudden people weren't really throwing Buzzes at all anymore. Super interesting phenomenon where people are just buying all these Buzzes, but then just very seldom actually throwing them. These two guys are flying very similar. Not surprised they landed in the same spot. The crystal one landed a good, 20 feet farther. It does feel a bit more flippy, a little more glidey, and thus will push a little bit more distance. So just up here, when it unblurs, there's gonna be a basket right there. We're gonna do a little CTP challenge, winner take all. Let's see which Buzzz is the most accurate. Maybe we can throw in an ace. That'd be kind of cool. Got a little fake T-pad here. We'll throw them in the same order. Crystal, titanium, and then the die. Ah, see, that one is just a little finicky. It's like a beat-in Buzzz SS, that one. Can't really trust it as much as I can trust these ones. That's a lot more of the flight you're looking for out of a Buzzz. It's gonna be a little bit short. All right, the door is wide open for the factory die to take the win today. I just feel like I can by far trust that one the most because it flies nice and stable and it also feels in hand the best of the bunch. All right, everybody, the Buzzz. That's gonna be it for today's video. That is day 3 of Vlogmas in the book. I'm doing a video every single day for the entire month. Let me know what type of content you guys wanna see. This is probably my current favorite run of Buzzz that I've thrown in a long time. I've had the titanium for a while. Flight's pretty good, a little more stable than I was expecting. Also, the feel in hand is nice, but it's not perfect for me. This new iDie Buzzz, I love the way these look. Big style points for bagging one of these, they look sick. But also feels and flies just a hair more stable. I think I have that little bit more confidence in hand. Got a nice flat profile. You don't see a lot of like board flat, glidey, stable mids. Most of the time flat mids are either dumb understable or dumb overstable, but the Buzzz is just right. And it's something that I look forward to actually playing with more in the future. I'm actually surprised at how well I enjoyed this today. Go get yours over at Disc Golf Deals USA. Use the link in the description below to save 10%. We'll see you guys in the next video. Stay humble, live with gratitude. Catch you in the next one. Take care.